Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? How you doing? This is your boy, or your unk,
He's not your uncle.
OG Tinku, back in the house with another cool video classic for us to watch. This one is another good one, and I think some of you might enjoy it. Maybe all of you, but I'm damn sure some of you will. Tonight, we're going to be checking out the 18 best Gordon Liu Kung Fu movies of all time that you must consume once. That's right. Bread, hot sauce, salt, pepper
Are you
in the bowl on
hungry?
the plate, but you got to consume it once. That's right. Gordon Liu, one of the best, pioneer, man who set the standards for martial arts movies. I mean, when I think back, when I first started getting interested in martial arts, particularly Kung Fu, the movie that set me on my way was the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. That's right. I finally went and found a school that taught Hung Guard, Tiger, and Crane Kung Fu, which the exact same martial arts that came from Shaolin. That's right. What I didn't know is that I didn't know any Kung Fu. Because had I known that the training and the conditioning and the constant
What in the
battering of your
hell are you
body, the
talking
constant
about?
training of your mind, I would have never did that shit. That was torture. But in the long run, it gave me a sense of calm. It made me feel like I can defend myself. You know? Yeah, once in a while I still got my ass beat, but hey, that's besides the point. All right now. So, without further ado, you ready? Because I got to give my man a round of applause. And that man is Marvelous Videos. That's right. Let me give him a round of applause for setting up this cool ass content. Let's check out. Here you go, Marvelous. This is for you. You say I'm drawing it out? I am. All right, guys. So without further ado, let's check it out.
For those unfamiliar, Gordon Liu was the face of martial arts movies for a long time. And he wasn't just any other actor. He was a master martial artist who brought a level of authenticity and intensity to his roles that few could match. He wasn't afraid to get his face
He
bruised, and
did. He
his
did. He
fight
really
scenes were
did. Yeah.
epic, just like Bruce Lee. So today, we're gonna take a look at 18 of his most acclaimed kung fu films, and find out why he was the master of his craft. Let's go. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Come on, you heard the man.
Did you know you're not an authorized subscriber?
Don't be like that.
The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, 1978. This film is considered one of the greatest kung fu movies ever made, directed by Lau Kar-leung and starring Gordon Liu. It was a turning point in both their careers. And a fun fact, the rigorous training sequences were inspired by real Shaolin training methods. It begins with Liu Yude, a young student witnessing the brutal suppression of his town by the Manchu government. Seeking revenge, he joins the Shaolin Temple, where he is renamed Santa. The temple's abbot allows him to train, and Santa embarks on a grueling journey through the 35 chambers, each designed to hone different skills, from physical endurance to mental fortitude. Santa masters each chamber, showcasing the disciplined training of
Martial arts
Shaolin
training in
monks.
general
His
is not
ultimate goal
only
is to create a
a
36
physical
chamber,
test,
where ordinary
but a
people
mental
can learn
test.
martial arts to defend themselves. In the end, Santa returns to his hometown, where he uses his skills to
Because
fight
if you
against
ain't
the
mentally
oppressive
ready for
regime. The
martial arts
36th Chamber of
training or
Shaolin
martial
is
arts in
considered a
general,
classic in the martial arts
you ain't gonna make
genre,
it.
not to forget that it has
And that
inspired
includes
countless
boxing.
films, TV shows,
Kung
and
Fu's
even
Kung
video
Fu.
games.
It's not child's play.
The 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, 1984, directed by Lau Kar-leung. The 8-diagram pole fighter is all about revenge and redemption. The Yang family was
Excellent
betrayed during a
movie
battle,
in
resulting in
very
the
sad
death of most of the family
overtones,
members. The fifth
especially
son,
once
Yang
you
Wulang,
realize that this
survives and
basically
seeks
was the
refuge in a
last movie that
monastery. Consumed by grief
Alexander
and anger, he
Fouchang did.
undergoes rigorous training in pole fighting,
Yeah.
mastering the 8-diagram pole technique. Meanwhile, his sister Yang Pamei also seeks revenge. All this leads up to a climactic battle where Yang Wulang confronts the traitors and avenges his family. The 8-diagram pole fighter is celebrated for its intense action sequences and emotional depth, and remains a favorite among fans. But things weren't smooth during its filming. They faced a major setback when actor Alexander Fouchang tragically died in a car accident during production. Ultimately, the script had to be rewritten, and his character was
I
removed
told
from the
you I'll
final
study.
showdown. Kill Bill Volume 2, 2004. There's no way you haven't heard about this one. Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 2 continues the story of the bride, as she wants
How
revenge
ironic that
against her
Gordon
former
Liu would play
associates.
Pai Mei
Unlike the first
when
volume,
he,
which was action-heavy, this
in most
installment
of
is
his
more about the
movies,
characters'
had to
backstories and
go up
motivations.
against
Volume
Pai
2
Mei.
picks up where Kill Bill Volume 1 left off, with the bride having flashbacks that reveal her training under Pai Mei, a ruthless martial arts master who teaches her the deadly 5-point palm exploding heart technique. That sounds badass. The bride's journey isn't an easy one, and she comes across her former associates, including Bud and L. Driver. And for the much-awaited climax, we get a showdown with Bill.
This movie was
What can
all
I
over the
say?
place.
Kill Bill franchise is definitely a standout in
Classic
Tarantino's
though.
filmography.
Excellent movie,
Quentin
but as far as
Tarantino
martial
originally
arts,
intended to
it
release
was
Kill
all over the
Bill as one
place.
film, but due to its length, it was split into 2 volumes. That's a smart decision. Nobody likes to stay in theaters for more than 2 hours anyway. And of course, the training
And I think
scenes
that's
with
what
Pai
everybody
Mei,
loved
played by
about it.
Gordon Liu, were an homage to classic kung fu films. Heroes of the East, 1978. Ho Tao, a dedicated kung fu student, is arranged to marry Yumiko Koda, the daughter of a Japanese business associate. Initially resistant to the idea, Ho Tao changes his mind when he meets Yumiko and finds her attractive.
Gordon Liu
After
showed
their
out in this
marriage,
movie, man.
Ho Tao discovers that
Yes, he
Yumiko is
did.
also a martial artist, proficient in karate.
I mean, he showed
Now,
out
unlike a
in
normal
most of his
person,
movies,
Ho
but
Tao
this
was
one
offended. Ho Tao, who believes that Chinese
was
kung fu
very
is superior,
impressed.
tries to persuade Yumiko to adopt more feminine and effective Chinese martial arts styles. But Yumiko was proud of her Japanese heritage and martial arts skills and refused.
And
And
that
she was
final fight
offended,
scene
so she
between him and
returned to
Karada,
Japan.
oh
In an
my
attempt to
goodness.
bring her back, Ho Tao sends a
Mm,
letter challenging Japanese martial arts, hoping to provoke Yumiko into returning to China to prove her skills. However, the letter is seen by Takeno, Yumiko's childhood friend and martial arts sensei. Takeno thought that the
me and
letter
my
was an
brother would look
insult to
at these
Japanese
movies and
martial arts
constantly
and shared it
rewind
with
them
other Japanese
back and
martial
forth. We
arts
wouldn't even get
masters.
to the end of the movie
Takeno
because we
told
would
Ho Tao that he would
constantly
face a
be looking,
different Japanese martial artist
rewinding
each
the movie
day,
back,
each
looking at moves
specializing
and
in a
seeing what
unique
we could
discipline.
do and
Throughout the film,
how they
Yumiko
pulled the stunt
realizes the
off and all
gravity of
this
the
other,
situation and decides to help
you know.
Ho Tao by providing insights into Japanese martial arts techniques. It's a nice comedy, and you can add it to your watch list for this weekend.
You had to be there,
Feast
and
of
if
the
you
White
were,
Lotus, 1980.
you're just as old
Hung
as I am.
Wen-ting seeks revenge
Yeah,
for the death of his
you're older.
master at the hands of the White Lotus clan. The antagonist, White Lotus, is someone with near supernatural abilities. Hung Wen-ting undergoes rigorous training to develop new techniques to defeat White Lotus. And of course, Hung Wen-ting confronts White Lotus and avenges his master. The fight choreography and the portrayal of internal martial arts techniques makes this film pretty unique. Hung Wen-ting's journey from a student to a master capable of defeating a seemingly invincible opponent is both inspiring and thrilling. You should get inspired by this and chase your dreams. And also watch the movie. Return to the 36 Chamber, 1980.
Now, no
Return to
disrespect
the
to
36
Gordon
Chamber,
Liu,
directed
but
by Lau Carleon,
this is like
is a
my
sequel to the
least
iconic
favorite of
The
all the
36
Shaw
Chamber of
Brothers
Shaolin. Cho
movies
Chun-chi
that
is
he
a
did.
con artist who is impersonating a Shaolin monk to help workers fight against their oppressive employers. His deception is eventually
It
discovered,
wasn't that
and
the
he
movie
seeks
was
refuge in
bad.
the
It was
Shaolin
just
Temple.
everybody was
There, he
disappointed that
learned
he
the true
wasn't
essence of
reprising
martial
his
arts.
role
His journey from a
as
trickster
Sensei.
to a genuine martial artist is actually fun to watch. And yes, the sequel is lighthearted, and Cho uses his newfound skills to help the workers and defeat their oppressors.
Ooh.
Legendary Weapons of China, 1982. Lei Kung, a former
I
member
was
of a
proud
secret
of that final
society,
fight
gives
scene
up
in this
violence
movie
and goes into
because
hiding.
that
Good for
showed you
him?
how the
Not at
OGs
all.
got
The
down.
society, fearing that his knowledge of martial arts poses a threat, sends assassins to eliminate
The
him.
Long
Lei
Brothers,
Kung is met by a series of
they
confrontations,
showed the
with each
young boys, we
showcasing
still
different
got it.
traditional
We still
Chinese
got it.
weapons. I think that the movie reflects on the relevance of martial arts in a world where modern weaponry is becoming common. As the name suggests, Legendary Weapons of China remains a classic in the martial arts genre and is highly regarded for its action sequences and philosophical
Even though
narrative.
Gordon Liu had more of a cameo in that movie.
Shaolin Mantis, 1978. Wei Feng, a spy sent to infiltrate a rebel family, learns the family's martial arts style, Mantis Fist, and becomes romantically involved with his
Okay,
daughter.
this is supposed to
Talk
be
about
about
screwing up the
Gordon
job.
Liu.
As Wei Feng
Gordon
becomes
Liu
more
had a
integrated
small
into the
cameo
family,
in this
he
movie
faces
too.
an internal conflict
At
between
the
his loyalty
beginning.
to the mission
A
and
very
his
brief
love.
cameo.
When his true identity is revealed, Wei Feng must face the consequences of his
But
actions and
basically
the
after
betrayal
that, there
felt by the
was no more
family.
Gordon
I have
Liu
to say, this
because his
Shaolin
character
Mantis is
died.
quite tense from a dramatic point of view. It's a nice change from movies where people fight mindlessly.
All right, now we back on track.
Challenge of the Masters, 1976. This film marks one of the early collaborations between director Lau Kar-leung and actor Gordon Liu. Wang Fei-hung is
This is
eager to
another
learn Kung
great
Fu, but is initially
traditional
denied
Kung
training.
Fu
After
movie.
proving his determination and resilience, he becomes a student of the legendary master Luk Ah-choi. We get to see Wang as he becomes a skilled martial artist from a novice. Now, obviously, this highlights the importance of discipline, respect, and perseverance, and the training sequences are detailed and authentic. When the time comes, Wang Fei-hung uses his skills to defend his honor and protect his community. Shaolin and Wu-tang, 1983. A corrupt Qing official instigates a conflict between the Shaolin and Wu-tang martial arts schools. Not cool,
I ain't gonna
dude.
shit
This
on it.
might be a bit cheesy, but in standard anime
It had
style,
its
the
moments.
protagonists, one from each school, initially view each other as rivals. However, they realize that they must unite to defeat
But
their
anybody
common
that
enemy.
saw this
If
movie
you're
will
new
tell
to
you that
martial
the
arts
intro
and want to
clip
know the
is
difference
probably the
firsthand,
best
then
fight
check out
scene
this movie.
in the entire
protagonist's
movie.
journey from rivalry to brotherhood is basically
from
the
the
whole
very
story
beginning.
of the Shaolin and Wu-tang, and they combine their skills to defeat the Qing official. Disciples of the 36th Chamber, 1985. This is the third installment of the 36 Chamber series. It focuses on the younger generation of Shaolin disciples and their training under the guidance of Santa, played by Gordon Liu. Fang Sai-yuk, a rebellious young martial artist, is sent to the Shaolin Temple for discipline. Under the guidance of Santa, he learned the values of patience and
What does he
humility.
call him?
Like
Gordon
its
Leon?
prequel, this one is filled with
It's
humorous
Gordon Liu.
moments, as Fang's mischievous nature often ends up in comedic situations.
That's the way he
As
says his
progresses
name, and
through
it's
his
easier to
training,
say.
Fang transforms from a
Gordon
rebellious
Liu.
youth to a
Say it
disciplined martial
right.
artist. Soon enough, Fang uses his newfound skills to defend the Shaolin Temple and uphold its values. Executioners from Shaolin, 1977. Have you heard of the very famous tiger and crane techniques? I'm sure you have, and you'll get to see
Another
them.
great
Feng
cameo
Shiquan,
from him,
a
but
Shaolin disciple, is seeking to avenge the
he
destruction of the
engraved
Shaolin
himself
Temple
in
by
your
the Qing
memory.
forces. Hung Shiquan and his fellow survivors join an opera troupe, using it as a cover to continue their resistance against the Qing dynasty. During their travels,
Wasn't the
Hung meets and
star
falls
of the
in love
movie,
with
but
Wing Chun, a skilled
he
martial
was
artist
outstanding
proficient in the
in
crane
the scene
style
that he
of
was
Kung
in.
Fu. They marry and have a son.
And it's one
day,
of the clips
Hung
that I
and
have on
Wing
my
Chun
channel.
train their
Go
son
check it
in
out.
both the
All
tiger
right.
and crane
I'm looking at it right now.
hoping to prepare him for future challenges. After years of
Better hurry up
preparation,
now, because they
Hung
pulling
Shiquan
clips
sets
down
out
like
to confront
clothes
Pai
off a
Mei. He
clothesline.
infiltrates Pai Mei's stronghold and engages in a series of battles with his henchmen, thanks to the tiger style. Despite his efforts, Hung is unable to defeat Pai Mei and is forced to retreat. During his escape, he's gravely injured but manages to survive. Back home, Hung continues training with renewed determination. He constructs a sophisticated training dummy designed to simulate Pai Mei's vulnerabilities and
Some of
improves
these
his
movies
techniques
basically
further.
just had
Meanwhile, his
Gordon
son,
Liu and a
Wending, grows
cameo
up,
in them.
learning both the tiger and the crane styles from his parents. Years later, Wending, now a
Not
skilled
all of
martial
these
artist,
movies
decides to take up
was
his father's mission.
Gordon Liu
He
the
confronts
star.
Pai Mei using a combination of tiger and crane techniques. Now, this isn't some short story because it spans 2 generations. As Hung's
Sample
son
A.
continues the quest for vengeance, I feel that the intergenerational element of the story is awesome because while this whole trope is overused, it's shown beautifully in Executioners from Shaolin. And let's not forget that the action scenes are top notch. How about you check it out tonight?
Now this,
Dirty
boy,
Ho, 1978. No, it doesn't
the
mean what you
fight
think it means.
choreography in
Dirty
this
Ho is
is
about Wang
out of this
Zhenxin, the 11th
world.
Prince of Manchuria, who lives in
I'm
disguise
talking
as a
about
sophisticated jewelry dealer and
it's
connoisseur of
it's,
fine
it's
art and
amazing.
wine.
Was
Despite his royal
outstanding.
lineage, Wang has no desire to become the emperor and prefers
The
his
beauty
peaceful,
of them having
low-profile
whole
lifestyle.
full
However, his peace is
fights
disrupted
in
when he
front of
discovers that one
laymen
of the other 14
without
heirs to the
really
throne is trying
trying
to
to
assassinate him. Wang is a master of
show
martial arts,
everybody,
but keeps his skills hidden to maintain his cover. And
including
his
Dirty
path
Ho,
crosses
who they
rival
really
Qing
were.
an infamous jewel thief at a brothel. The two men initially clash as they compete for the
And when
attention
Dirty
of the
Ho finally
courtesans,
does find
with
out,
Wong using his legitimate
by
jewelry
that time,
and Ho Ching using
Gordon Liu
stolen
got him
goods.
tight. He's good.
Despite
He's
Ho
good.
Ching's
Yeah.
effort to fight
Wang
he's
did a great
repeatedly
job in this
bested by
movie.
Wong's subtle and skillful
That's Dirty
deflections.
Ho.
When the police arrive to arrest both men, Wong discreetly shows his royal seal to the police captain, who then orders his men to leave Wong alone and detain
And
Ho
of
Ching
course,
instead.
that final
Yes,
fight
show your
scene
privilege whenever
with
you
Lo
want.
Lei.
Wong confiscates
It
Ho
was
Ching's
good.
stolen jewels and continues his evening with the courtesans, and Ho Ching is released from jail, but soon finds himself in trouble again as he tries to retrieve his stolen jewelry from Wong. In a clever twist, Wong pretends that a female musician, Choi Hung, is his
But the
bodyguard.
whole movie is
He manipulates her
excellent.
movements to make it appear as though she's fighting Ho Ching, eventually grazing him with a poison blade. This is part of Wong's plan to protect Ho Ching from his own reckless behavior. Ho Ching seeks out Choi Hung for the antidote, but Wong informs him that she's moved away and left the antidote with him. Wong uses the antidote on Ho Ching on the condition that Ho Ching becomes his student, and together they try to eliminate the assassin. How did they do it? Watch Dirty Ho and find out. The Shaolin Drunken Monk.
Now, this movie was his
Gordon
post
Liu plays Lao Chung,
Shaw
son
Brothers
of a
era.
respected kung fu master. His father is murdered by his own students, who have turned against him, and this forces Lao Chung to flee for his life, leaving behind his home and everything he knows. His mother, unable to bear the grief and dishonor, commits suicide. That was too dark, too
There was
soon.
a Korean
While
director that
wandering, Lao
made
Chung
this
sees a
movie,
hermit with a deep
and
history in Shaolin
a lot of the
Drunken Kung
actors
Fu.
that was
This
in this
hermit
movie with
decides to
Gordon
take
Liu
him under
were
his wing. Under
from
the hermit's
Korea.
rigorous
North
and
Korea, South
unconventional
Korea,
training,
Maryland,
Lao Chung
Monroe.
learns the art of drunken kung fu, a style that combines fluid, unpredictable movements with powerful strikes. Hey, you can see this style yourself. Just head to your local bar. With his skills, Lao Chung sets out on a mission to avenge his parents' death. He confronts various minions and allies of the men who betrayed his father. Along the way, he kidnaps Ying Ying, the daughter of one of the traitors, hoping to use her as bait to lure out his enemies. Ying Ying eventually falls in love with him. Stockholm Syndrome is wild. However, Ying Ying is devastated by the realization of her father's crimes and takes her own life. Didn't see that coming. So what happened to Lao Chung? Watch the
Eagle
Shaolin Drunken
Han.
Monk to know more. Crazy Shaolin Disciples, 1985. A group of Shaolin disciples who are known for their unconventional and often humorous approach to martial arts are met with misadventures. Despite their unorthodox methods, the disciples demonstrate their martial arts prowess and the values of Shaolin training. The film has a showdown where the disciples use their unique skills to overcome their adversaries and uphold the honor of Shaolin. The story begins with a raid led by a deadly Manchu enforcer, played by Lo Lei. During this raid, rebels Hong Se-quan, Fang Sai-yuk, and Hu Hui-qian are forced to flee for their lives. Seeking refuge, they arrive at the Shaolin Temple. Fang Sai-yuk and Hu Hui-qian, however, are not your typical disciplined students. They're mischievous and
Thanks
playful,
you.
often getting into trouble with the temple's strict rules. Their antics lead to numerous comedic situations, especially when they clash with the young monk Wu Qing, played by Gordon Liu. Fang and Hu begin to adapt to the temple's ways, and the plot thickens when the Manchu enforcer discovers their whereabouts and plans an attack on the Shaolin Temple. This impending threat forces Fang, Hu, and their fellow disciples to band together and defend their sanctuary. Shaolin vs. Evil Dead, 2004. Pak, played by Gordon Liu, is skilled in both martial arts and mystical practices. He's dedicated to protecting the living from supernatural threats and is accompanied by his two bumbling disciples, who provide comic relief throughout the film. The story kicks off when Pak and his disciples are called to a remote village plagued by strange occurrences and mysterious deaths. Upon investigation, they discover that the village is under the influence of dark magic, thanks to an evil sorcerer named Dr. Magma. Dr. Magma has been using his powers to reanimate the dead, creating an army of zombies to do his bidding. Hey, this reminds me of Reanimator, another good movie. Anyway, Pak and his disciples set up camp in the village and began their efforts to cleanse the area of evil spirits. Pak uncovers Dr. Magma's ultimate plan, to harness the power of the sacred grounds beneath the village and become the king of vampires. That's horrible. So what happens next?
Oh yeah, this is
Does
good
Pak
too.
succeed?
They're
Watch
all
the movie
good.
to find out. Legend of the Liquid Sword, 1993. Chor Lao Hyung has been trained in martial arts by his master, Tuk Ku Kao Pai. His skills are exceptional, and his master sends him to the Shaolin Monastery to participate in a prestigious martial arts contest held once every 10 years. On his journey to Shaolin, Chor comes across two companions, Wu Titfa and Chung Yuan Yat Dim Hung, who join him on his adventure. Upon arriving at the Shaolin Monastery,
I mean,
Chor
when was
faces
Bo
off
gonna fight
against a
back? He let
Shaolin
Bo
student
do
named
a
Mo
whole
Fa,
crossword
and since
puzzle
their
on his
initial
chest.
duel ends in a draw, they agree to a rematch. However, their rivalry soon turns into friendship, and they decide to explore the palace together in search of excitement and adventure. This sounds so
What a
similar to
combo.
the plot of Shaolin and Wu-Tang, which I just covered a few minutes ago. Their mischief leads them to the palace on the night of a royal wedding, where they inadvertently disrupt the festivities and are caught in a trap. With the help of Chora's friends, they manage to escape, but their troubles are far from over. The evil Bad Prince, the son of a Japanese ninja, has sinister plans. 17 years earlier, he challenged the 3 best fighters in China, and after being defeated, committed suicide in shame. Bad Prince seeks revenge and aims to dominate the Chinese martial arts world. If only he had better things to do with his life. To know what happens next, go check it out. Tales of a Eunuch, 1983. Tales of a Eunuch is about Xiu Bo, a mischievous gambler and troublemaker, living in a brothel run by his mother. His carefree life takes a dramatic turn when he gets involved with a group of rebels fighting against the corrupt Qing dynasty. He encounters an elderly eunuch who's an evil martial arts master. Through a series of comedic and chaotic events, Xiu Bo ends up impersonating the eunuch's servant. Xiu Bo's impersonation leads him to the imperial palace, where he becomes involved in the complexities of the court. The emperor, who's secretly studying martial arts, takes an interest in Xiu Bo, unaware of his true identity. Xiu Bo learns about a secret Buddhist text that holds immense power, and the evil eunuch master, along with other factions within the palace, is also seeking this text. Just watch the movie for the sake of Gordon Liu, that's all I'm gonna say. Marvelous Verdict. Boy, I hope I pronounced all the names correctly. Almost gave myself a tongue twister out there. Gordon Liu was the real deal when it came to martial arts,
Yeah, I'm
right next to Bruce Lee.
trying to walk
His
away
movies
from
were
the
a blast to watch
constant
because he
Gordon
always found a
Liu,
way to incorporate humor into his fights. From his early days kicking butt
but
in
you did a good
Shaolin
job.
Temple to his later masterpieces like Drunken Master 2, Liu is a legend. He's inspired countless martial arts and filmmakers, and his passion for kung fu is still felt today. You won't be disappointed. Do you have any more martial arts movies on your mind? Tell us in the comments. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe.
You
Thanks,
heard the man.
everyone.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, guys. Thought I'd throw a little something at you. Something cool, something good. Gordon Liu, that's right, man. Pioneer. One of the best, especially from the old school. Well, guys, that's enough for me. And I hope that's enough for you. OG Tingu, signing out this piece. And I hope to see you at the next cool video. I'm going to pause on it. Y'all be good. Take care of yourselves. And I look forward to seeing you again. All right, now, here go.
You paused.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Bye. Nice seeing you.